do when you're feeling uninspired? So you want to do your creative or aspirational goals, and even sweeping the floor is just too much to ask. You're drawing a blank. You can't think your thoughts, you can't move your body, you're just in a rut. You're feeling very uninspired. Set yourself up for success. In order to do any of these things we want to do, or maintain these healthy habits, or reach these goals, there's some prep work that's going to be required. You'll need to pull out your workout equipment, get your homework out, get it to the right page, keep things in an orderly schedule, charge up your devices, pull your paint out and your paintings. Anything you might be into and interested in, or have on your to-dos or your want-to-dos, it's going to require a little bit of prep work. So set yourself up for success on those days that you don't have it in you to do anything, and you want to hit the ground running the following day. You can set out all of those things that require prep work. Charge up your devices, pull out your calendar, pull out your lists, pull out your homework, pull out your projects, and get them ready to go. Setting yourself up for success. You have habits that you're trying to integrate and keep going. We can sometimes lose track of them, and the following day we're not really organized or interested. Maybe we woke up groggy and things start to fall off. By spending the time when you're unable to spend the time doing it, prepping to do it, when you wake up in the morning, you will see these visual cues of all of the positive things that you were planning to do laid out right there in front of you, and you can hit the ground running. Just pick one up and start it without any work, without any effort mentally, and just get right back into it. Visual cues also serve to remind us of the habits that we're trying to keep and maintain, and we feel the positive rewards and we want to do those habits, and so having that cue will allow you to pick back up quickly versus just writing it out. So when you're having a really down time, set the scene. Spend that day setting up everything you think you might want to do, because you'd have to do it the next day anyway, or the next time you pick up that project, and you don't know what's going to hit that mark for you the following day or the day after that. What's going to be the thing that you want to dive into that's going to get you back up and running. Reviewing your calendar and getting yourself organized. Sometimes when we're drawing a blank, we just haven't been in the moment enough lately. We've been too busy doing chores in life and distracting and mundane things, and everything's sort of all over the place, and we don't know where to start, and we don't know where we left off. Sitting down and getting yourself organized eliminates a lot of stress, and reviewing your own goals, seeing it all laid out there, what you have to do, what you had wanted to do, what your plans were there in black and white or on a calendar on the internet, can be just the thing, just to see your goals in those visual cues and in the calendar and in your own writing where you were and where you wanted to be, can be enough in and of itself to get you organized and ready to pick back up. It can be inspiring. And if it's not inspiring, like everything else, you need to know where you were at and what that next step would be, and get your general life more in order and back on track so that you can be free to do those inspiring and motivational things when, or even productive things when you have the opportunity. That takes time. use this time to get yourself organized so that you can block out your day and you know what you have to do and when you have to do it so that you can start doing it. All of that planning takes time. Use this time when you can't be doing to be planning and seeing where you were, where you want to be, what you have to do, and when you're going to do it, and put that time in so that you sort of have a schedule to follow. And put in motivational and inspirational things into your mind, into your ears, into your environment. Turn on podcasts or audiobooks or anything that is going to inspire you. Perhaps your life has been very mundane. How are you going to be inspired if your life hasn't been very inspiring lately? Put the things in again while you go about your house and set the stage for productivity, creativity, and you get yourself organized and order and reassess your goals, refresh your memory of where you left off, all the things you've done. Have that inspirational, informational stuff flowing into you to get you going. You've got to be in the right mode, and maybe you've been watching a lot of TV and doing chores and you sort of fell out of that vibe. You need to get back into that headspace and that place and seeing your own goals while listening to other people accomplishing theirs and how they went about making a successful and productive life. How they're doing what you want to be doing can put you right back in that place. Also, on the note of inspirational environment and being in the right headspace and keeping that momentum going, reflect. What has your last couple days, your last week consisted of? If it's been a lot of mundanities, then perhaps you need to take yourself out and go and find an environment that's going to inspire you. Go out to an art museum, go out to a lecture, go out and set the scene and just see what happens. Give the ambiance that you want to get yourself back into that mode. Whatever that mode is. Surround yourself with that. Take yourself on an adventure. The change of pace and being surrounded by an environment that is suggestive of where you want to be can click that switch. If you've been too busy, perhaps you're burnt out. Especially if you've been too busy, not with alone time. If you've been giving a lot of your time to your regular work, to other people, to life's to-dos, perhaps you need more me time. How are you supposed to remember the things that you want to do and have time to do the things that you want to do and even keep your mind on them if you don't have any you time, any downtime, any wind down time? You need a clear mind and you need some personal time. So make sure you allow for the time. Allow for the time for yourself to reflect, to think, to put in the kind of things that you need for self-care, for recoup, or for creative time and for productive time. So perhaps you need some more me time, and that will recharge you. Perhaps you've been spending too much time alone, and you've gotten into a lull and a lump, and you're uninspired because you've been spending too much time in your head with your own thoughts. No new information. Again, put new information in and seek out resources. Go on that adventure. Call up a friend. Perhaps you just need a break. You just need to walk away. You're trying to force something. And again, contact those people that are going to inspire you and take a refreshing break with inspirational company. That little recharge and getting out to take a walk, enjoy the world, a little sunlight, a little fresh air, a little break can be just enough to hit that trigger. So set yourself up to hit the ground running. Go through that list and do all the prep work. Charge up your devices, set everything out, so that when you get up in the morning, you'll be less stressed because you have your calendar back, you know what you have to do and when you have to do it. You've recently reflected on your own goals, and you know what those are and where you left off, so you don't have to think about any of that. You can just hit the ground running and pick it up. If you haven't been spending enough time on you, you haven't had any headspace, well, how can your head come up with anything? If you haven't had any headspace time, you need me time. If all you've had is your own headspace, well, you might be running out of ideas, and you need some inspiration, and you need some social time. You need to take yourself out to that ambiance, that environment, and get re-inspired. If you're physically low, some fresh air, a walk, nature, move your body, even if it's just to do the prep work and to clean your house. Some kind of movement is going to help reinvigorate you, even if you don't feel like it. Trust me. Also, you can take, once you're ready to hit the ground running tomorrow, and hit the ground running, force yourself to pick up that book and start reading. Pick up one of these projects you planned and just get into it. It's just like if you skip the gym for a while, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but once you get the momentum going, the momentum begets the momentum. So plan the day and then hit the ground running the next day. And if you hit a block, switch to one of the other setups that you have pre-planned and start with that. Or do one of these other exercises. Get out of the house, set the tone, set the mood, give yourself downtime, give yourself uptime. Also, after you've reflected on everything, you may realize that even though you think you said enough or you've done enough on a particular subject, whether it's projects that you're creating, paintings, artwork, music, vlogging, that you've said all there is to say. There's nothing new under the sun anyway. Everything that can be said has already been said. Everything that can be done has already been done. It's all elaboration. So if you're really struggling for ideas and you don't have the momentum to pick up where you left off, what thing have I been doing that has worked in the past that I can either size down or elaborate on? I'm sure there are other avenues that you could explore, that maybe you have burnt out of doing yoga every day. Have you tried lifting weights? Maybe you've burnt out of walking. Could you try biking? If you're into fitness, try other avenues of things that you haven't tried. Maybe that will spark your interest and keep you in the fitness realm. If you're into reading, is there a different kind of book that you can pick up? Has your interest kind of lulled because your interest has lulled, and it's not really a motivational thing, but that thing is no longer inspirational to you? You don't have to come up with something entirely new. You don't have to change your whole goal set around to get re-inspired. Think about what else is in that genre of the large umbrella that you're aiming toward and elaborate. What have you talked about in your vlogs? Is there a lot more to say on a particular subject? Elaborate. And once you start elaborating again, you'll be in the midst of doing that creative and motivational, inspirational, productive thing that you wanted to do, and momentum begets momentum. So, if you find yourself in a spot and nothing is doing it, no walks, no friends, no environment, no anything is getting you going, think about what you have done, reflect on it, and your future goals. I want to be artistic. Well, have you been painting and you just don't really feel like painting anymore? Is there another area of art, wood carving, drawing, graphic design that you could pick up and tinker with that you would find enjoyable now. Photography. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself. If you have been writing music, maybe you write poetry, maybe you write a book, maybe you've been struggling to write a book and you write a comic. Maybe you start singing instead of writing. And again, walking instead of yoga. Maybe you just need to go on a different track with the goal that you had, and overall you'll get to the same destination, but if you don't keep the momentum going, you will fizzle out. So those are my tips for not producing anything, and the things that you are producing, if you are producing, have become a chore instead of a joy. Take the time, make the time for yourself, for those projects. Get yourself organized, spend a day setting yourself up for success. Hit the ground running. Get out. Set the environment. Surround yourself with inspirational things. And if none of that works, expound, expand, elaborate on what's been done. Take a slightly different angle on the things that you've already covered that still fall in line with where you want to be. It's all progress. Till next time, love you guys. Bye, YouTube. This was my getting myself remotivated. Bye.